Hello. Okay, so we talked about the rubric. Let's talk a little bit about um, how I'm going to use the rubric to grade you. So you have an assignment called 1.3 coming up on Thursday or Friday, depending on which day you are. And I use the I can't talk. I use the same assignment for the science department just so they could see like how rubrics can be helpful. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. So what I had the teachers do is I had them do the exact same assignment you did, and we just showed how assessing could work. So let's bring up teacher's work as an example. So Miss Kasanuki's group. Don't tell her we're looking at her work. So if I pull up her assignment, I want to talk about like why maybe she got some of the grades that she did. It actually looks like it graded. Maybe she graded herself. This looks very kind. Oh, maybe it is accurate. So I didn't have them do the whole assignment, but just so they can get a taste of it. So let's look at question number 3 here. So question number 3 says, as we age, our hair cells become inactive, not allowing us to hear certain frequencies. Deduce, okay, that is a command term. So it's very important that we use this the correct way from the data you collected in the cochlea when hair cells become inactive as we age. Like where first do they become inactive? The other thing to pay attention to, remember, is the point value of the question. So this has a 2-point value. So we need to create 2 ideas. So let's look at that first. Hair cells at the base become inactive, okay, and usually move towards the apex. So hair cells at the, okay, so this I think would be worth 2 points because she connected 2 points. Hair cells at the base become inactive first, so there's one, and the second idea, and then moves towards the apex. So she's talking about it. So she would get the full marks for the complete part. All questions have been answered. Well, this wasn't answered, but it was only practice. And the point values of the question were reached. You know, she reached that 2-point question. However, if we go down to the accuracy part, remember, so accuracy is 1, did you answer it correctly? Like, did you give the correct response? And 2, right, command terms have been addressed correctly. So deduce means to use the data. So if you look at my comment, I wrote, deduce means to reach a conclusion from the information given. Need to include values from graphs and or tables. Okay, so she would see this on her work. Now, my policy this year is going to allow you to resubmit work until it's perfect. Because I just want you to get it for these activities, for these final projects at the end of the topics or the end of the week, you can just keep resolving the issues. So this looks different from my end than it does from yours, but you will have a resolve button and then you can resolve the issue. I will get that information and I will regrade it. Okay, and I will just keep correcting it. If we look at another one, I had them work on a second one down here. Well, my computer's a little laggy. So this question says, could you hear the sound? That's just a fun thing, but discuss another command term, the use of this thing called a mosquito to deter age groups. So they need to discuss. So they didn't get full credits here because when you see the word discuss, you need to talk about the positives and the negatives, the pros and the cons, the arguments for and the arguments against. And if you see here, I wrote that discuss means arguments for and against. Try to think of arguments that both support and refute the statement. And then you could adjust your answer and I'll give you full marks. Everybody's happy. So that is how I'm going to use the rubric to grade your